Hello everyone, my name is Arthur. This is my partner Kieran. Today we're going to speak about the Canadian Automotive Museum.
Okay, so the Canadian Automotive Museum is located in Oshawa, Ontario, and is representative of Canadian culture in the region with regards to automotive heritage. It was founded in 1962 by a group of Oshawa businessmen through the Oshawa Chamber of Commerce. It shows the importance of the automotive industry and the historical growth of the car throughout the 19th to 20th century, showing the evolution of their design and engineering. It covers the root of automotive production by presenting to visitors the most locally produced cars of the 18th century. In contrast, the collector has also procured internationally produced cars such as the Bugatti, Rolls-Royce, Kennedy, and Hispano Suiza, incorporating automotive history from other nations and cultures. The first floor of the museum mainly covers cars produced outside of Canada, such as Italy, France, Great Britain, and the US. The exhibit also integrates posters and newspaper clippings about the first GM plant in Canada, giving the goer a greater understanding of the first models produced. For example, some of the posters describe the first car producers and stockholders that invested in automotive production and car development. In comparison, the second floor mainly describes locally produced cars, such as the Tudor, McIntyre, McLaughlin, Grey Dort, Buick, and other models. Therefore, we could see many posters that represented to us the history of GM plant throughout the century, the growth of production and development, designing, and engineering.
When it comes to the mission statement, we found out the purpose of the museum, which divided into 5 parts. The first part tells us to tell the Canadian story of the automotive industry, its origin, its development, and its plans for the future. Second tells us to present under ideal conditions valuable automobile exhibits before they are lost to posterity. The third one tells us to illustrate the important part the automotive industry has played in the economic and social development of Canada, and to show with motor car and associated motor parts the development of engineering skills and design craftsmanship in building automobiles from 1770 to present time, to provide an educational service to schools and colleges throughout Canada by maintaining an accurate source of reference material on the history of the automotive industry. When it comes to the visitors, we could say that we found out that there are certain groups of visitors to the Canadian Automotive Museum. First of all, most of the Canadian male senior citizens from Ontario region, not just from Oshawa, are representatives of Canadian culture. So they will be really like the Canadian Automotive Museum. Such as there are 4 foreigners like British and Indian, Europeans like to visit this museum as well. But our main target visitors would be university and school students.
So the website for the Canadian Automotive Museum was very eloquently designed using WordPress, showing the information of what the museum had to offer, as well as their contact information and social media sites. Although from the website it appeared that the museum was technologically savvy, it was evident that the museum's implementation of technology was stuck in the past, much like the automotive vehicles in their exhibit. The vehicle in which the museum presented information was solely through text panels, not utilizing any form of new technologies in the exhibit. Oshawa has a population of under 150,000 and is a town mainly characterized as an industrial city with not much tourism to hear of. In addition, the Canadian Automotive Museum is housed in a 25,000 square foot building in downtown and is a relatively small museum in comparison to more well-known museums such as the Royal Ontario Museum, which is 90,000 square feet. Being a small private museum with little tourism means that the museum relies heavily on government and public funding. Finally, although the Canadian Automotive Museum operates on major social networking sites such as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, they are not active on these sites, thus hindering growth. So we are in a technological age which has changed the way we interact and operate. Although museums are meant to enrich us on some sort of history, they must evolve with current trends in order to remain competitive. A number of trends has emerged as a result. Traditional museums used to be singularly focused on just displaying the connections and collections and exhibitions without much interaction with the user. One trend has emerged is a growing attention to sociable, recreational, and participatory experiences. In concurrence, goers are looking for an experience that invokes strong response, where visitors are coming to expect a wow experience. A third trend is a movement away from physical locations, where they are now being considered parts of cultural mosaics. The architecture and design elements programs offered outside the museum, as well as its relationship with the community, are important elements in helping a museum survive. Due to the aging population, museums are looking to appeal to the younger generation when seeking funding. Museums can also benefit from implementing well-designed websites or mobile applications, providing practical information such as hours, fees, offerings, pictures, and historical information on the exhibit. According to Nielsen, 92% of consumers believe recommendations from friends and families all over forms of other advertising, and therefore it is imperative that the museums do not overlook these forms of free advertising. Everything that we do creates online data points, and big data is the utilization of these data points to perceive patterns and summarize meaningful information. Museums are using big data analytics to develop new ways to understand and interact with their intended audience. So one way to better improve the functions of these venues would be to develop a mobile application in which the visitors could download before coming to the museum. For example, the Smithsonian Museum is a leader in the development of mobile apps. They possess a multitude of applications and websites allowing visitors to interface with exhibits directly or remotely in different languages, bridging together different nationalities. This can best be described from Klaus Mueller's experience, who is a Dutch museum and cultural scholar that told the story of his frustration in gaining admission to view Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper in Milan's Convent Santa Maria. Access was limited due to bureaucracy and by conservation concerns, and a limitation on visitors and the short time for visits. He had greater access at websites where he could enlarge views of materials and gain perspectives that he would not. So the Canadian Automotive Museum is a relatively small private exhibit in a city with not much tourism, which would allow users to view them despite any geographical constraints. In addition, the museum relies on funding strictly from donations and visitors. Hence, it is constrained to a limited budget. This was the main rationale for suggesting the development of a mobile application to provide better interaction between visitors and the exhibits. Many museums implement video displays in their exhibits, however, this can come at high initial capital investment, which the museum simply could not fund. Mobile applications can be developed with a low capital investment as there is no tangible cost from an application, with the users providing their own smartphones. Another rationale behind developing the app is due to the high degree of obsolescence associated with technology, as apps can quickly be changed and adapted in different formats compared to video displays. Our second solution for the Canadian Automotive Museum is to utilize a free Wikipedia-like page that is called Museum Mobile Wiki. This was founded in 2008 and offers museum as a free tool of resources and best practice, as well as conversation about mobile interpretation and technologies. It is included in an open source / open platform mobile development project. They also utilize Twitter, capturing the hashtag #MotoGo, providing conversation between venues. This is a free source that the museum can use in developing their app. Our third solution would be to hold event nights. So small and medium-sized museums who lack and treasure artifacts can sometimes face the challenge of painting captivating stories. Since sociability is a sought-after experience from visitors and members, one suggestion would be to hold young professional events that take place once a month to grow interest in the automobile heritage. As our Canadian population is aging, the Canadian Automotive Museum will need to inspire the younger generations to get donations so they continue to thrive for generations to come. In addition, they could implement family programs which would allow children to sit and play with the cars and listen to the history from the museum curator. This will instill a love for automotive history early in childhood, as well as provide a social experience. So the mobile application should be used in tandem with third-party applications such as Foursquare, which is a location-based search and discovery app. Users check in through their smartphone app and share their location with friends. Provides real-world experience by allowing users to bookmark information about venues. This will help locate and bring together automotive heritage enthusiasts together, which can help the museum gain donors. Some additional location-based services the museum should look into are Looped and Gowalla, which helps share your experiences. All of these are free and easy to set up. In comparison, another way in which Canadian automotive museums could instill interest in the younger generation is by partnering with local schools by organizing field trips and giving tours to students. Since Oshawa is small, the museum could also partner with schools nationally and internationally by providing virtual tours through webcams.
When it comes to the audio guides, one of our new ways how can we improve the performance of Canadian Automotive Museum would be audio guiding. Audio guides are basically a handheld device that provides recorded information for visitors touring a museum, gallery, or other place of interest. It may include accessories such as headphones and touch push button system. Each museum stands will numbered, so visitor would be able to plug the number into the device and listen to all the important information about it, such as a brief history of the car, engine characteristics, and other interesting facts about it. When it comes to the competitive advantage, there are certain benefits of implementing this new technology to Automotive Museum. Our audio guides will contain four main language options such as English, French, Chinese, and Spanish, such as it will help to bring up more international visitors who have some difficulties but still interested in Canadian automotive production. We could say that audio guiding is a part of the digitalization process of converting written information into a digital format. Digital technology attracts students and young professionals. Digital technologies nowadays are integrated to school and university student experience. More than 3 billion people nowadays use internet, so digitalization would be a great tool to interact with the young generation to enhance and keep them interested. According to Edgar Dale's cone of experience, people remember only 10% of what they have recently read, but about 50% of what they have seen and heard. Visually impaired people would be able to access to the museum stands. Making Canadian Automotive Museum more accessible to visually impaired visitors isn't just about providing braille labels, but it is more a cultural breakdown of barriers to create equal experience to everyone. So that's why it would be a great option to implement audio guide system to raise awareness and help the society to improve. Visually impaired people now would be able to listen and important information and participate in a museum lifestyle. Could be purchased at a low cost and rented out as an option. Therefore, devices could be purchased at a low cost and rented out for all the visitors, so that would decrease expenses over time. Therefore, it can help with the reduction of noise and providing more clear information. Audio guides provide a choice for each visitor, such as there would be a lot of people of group gathering, so that would decrease noise. Visitor would be able to get better service overall. When it comes to implementation, we divided our implementation into 5 parts. First part will be research and analyzed in the marking for the low costs to develop a vision and goal. Second one will be to train and learn how to implement the technology on our stuff. Therefore, to develop a tour itself, purchase or rent out certain amount of devices, and implement new technology. And our last solution would be social networking sites. When it comes to the social networking sites, we all know such websites like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and other sites create a huge impact on our everyday lifestyle. Such as Callaghan in 2012 stated that the globalization on the internet has transformed many aspects of everyday life by providing access to information that was previously withheld or unavailable. We also should mention that 95% of CNS users being teenagers between 16 to 19 years. so that will hit our target. So as we mentioned, our target are mostly students, so we would advertise Canadian Automotive Museum through the Facebook by creating groups or social pages, raising an awareness and promoting our services. And we identified two main points, such as to promote Canadian Automotive Museum on the social network basis, such as Facebook and Twitter, and promote our audio guide online.
So just in summary, to talk about our solutions and the significance, the mission of the Canadian Automotive Museum, is stated on the wall of the interest, is to create a more interest in our automotive heritage among the younger generation. The mantra that the museum operates on will greatly be enhanced through the new technology solutions aforementioned. Mobile apps will allow visitors to fully immerse themselves in rich history of the automotive industry without being constrained by a physical location. The utilization of free third-party apps, location search and based discovery apps, will help identify car enthusiasts, increasing visitation and potential donors. Events nights for young professionals and families will draw a buzz for the museum where small and medium-sized museums usually have trouble. Audio guides in different languages will provide a more cultural experience. And finally, social media is a cheap and great way to market for the museum, as well as create buzz in the community through word of mouth marketing. Thank you for listening to our presentation.